Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adolescent Growth and Maturation for Youth Ministry. I'm assuming that you're taking this course because you are interested in the youth ministry and you want to put this into practice with middle schoolers and high school students, teens. My name is Dr. Greg Moffett. I'm the developer of this course, and I have some ideas about how I wanted this course to go, and I'm hoping that you find it helpful and interesting, and it teaches you something that you might not have known already about teenagers and how they think. So I have been at Point University for many years. I've been in the youth ministry before I came here some 30 years ago, and I've worked with teens in my clinical practice, so I've got lots of exposure to this population, and I'm hoping to communicate that to you through the development of the course, through the assignments, and through the supplemental readings and the primary textbook. So what I'd like you to know about how this course was put together. Our primary textbook is a secular textbook. So if you were to go to Georgia State or University of Florida or wherever it may be, you might find a similar textbook. I have chosen that book because I feel like it's the most thorough. There are four major areas of development that you'll see through your assignments and your readings: physical, cognitive, social, and emotional. This book is laid out that way, as are almost all developmental psychology books. And if you've had an introduction to development course of some sort, lifespan development or intro to psychology, you've probably at least been exposed to that to some degree. What we'll be doing is looking at these four major areas of development and how they apply to teenagers specifically. The two supplemental readings that you have are written by Christian authors and to some degree match with what we're talking about in each section or unit. So as we go through, in some cases they line up very nicely. In other words, they're talking about exactly the same topic. And in other cases, they line up in the sense that I feel like they're filling in gaps that the secular textbook cannot provide for us as a Christian university, and specifically focusing on youth ministry and how we can apply what we're learning here in that regard. So I hope you enjoy these two books. If you stay up with the readings and think about them as a combined unit and not just three individual readings, I think you will find it interesting. There are a number of projects that you have through the course of these 7 weeks. My goal is to have nothing that is busy work. I know that in any class, as a college professor for 30 years, any class that you invest in, you can learn something, and if you don't invest in it, you probably won't learn a whole lot. So some of it is on you, but some of it is on me as well as I put this together. I didn't put anything in here that I thought was just busy work to fill up your minutes of the day. Everything from the forums to the research articles to the readings, everything that you do is focusing on the goal of helping you understand and hopefully implement the stuff that you're learning. So the research articles are going to give you a little bit of flexibility. You may have some specific interest in youth ministry. Maybe it's some specific mental health problem or some specific issue with teens. That's a place that you're going to be able to do your own research as a part of your assignment and focus it more on specifically your interest in your career. You'll be doing peer evaluations where you'll be looking at what your peers are doing and helping them improve their work. Sometimes that's as helpful as having your faculty member look at it. So that's the purpose of those peer reviews. You'll also be doing 3 developmental assessments. The first 2 are partial assessments where you'll be looking at just 1 or 2 of those 4 major areas: physical, social, cognitive, and emotional that we mentioned a while ago. And then the final one will be putting it all together in one big package and looking at all of them. So you'll be doing an assessment of an individual in your church or a relative or somebody that you can practice on, in essence. What I hope that you'll understand and why this is in your program, understanding how we mature in these 4 areas and how we physically grow in these 4 areas is imperative in any kind of intervention. So I spent most of my career clinically working with young children, and it's especially an issue there because there's so much breadth in a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old. We get some of that same thing in 15 and 16-year-olds. Those 4 areas don't always move at the same rate. So you might have somebody who's chronologically 15 years old, emotionally is 12, cognitively is 20. I mean, all things are possible. And if we understand what we have, it makes it a little easier for us to understand what kind of interventions are necessary. So those are the purposes of my assignments. What I hope you also get out of this program is that Point University is distinctly Christian. This is a youth ministry program, I understand that, but we as a university throughout our history, 80-some years, has been to be distinctly Christian. And what I was thinking as I was doing all of these projects and assignments for you is, what is it that we can provide for you that you wouldn't get at some state university or a community college someplace? So between the readings and your forums, where you'll have the opportunity to interact with one another and talk about what you've read, what you've studied, what you've implemented, your peer assignments, and interactions with your professors, you'll have the opportunity to fill in whatever voids that I might have left out. I hope there's not any, but there might be. And also to look at some practical applications for your specific ministry, because I know some of you are probably working now. You're either volunteering in your local church or you're on staff. So what you'll notice is in these assignments, many of them that are application assignments, they give you the opportunity, if you are currently working, to put it in practice right now and see if it works. See if what we've talked about is helpful to you. If it is, great. Share it in the forums and let your classmates know why you thought it worked and how it worked for you. If it doesn't, the forums may give you a good opportunity to talk to your classmates and find out either is there something wrong theoretically, or is there something wrong in your implementation of this process. So that's my goal. I hope you find this interesting. As a college professor for all these years, I've taught at several universities, but I've been full-time at Point for my whole career. The worst thing I could hear is for somebody to finish my course and say that was a waste of time. So I hope that that doesn't happen here, and that you find at least some of these assignments really fulfilling and helpful to you in your work. And as always, as we move forward, spreading the gospel and working in the lives of individuals, I wish you the very best, and I hope this is good work for you. Blessings and good day.